Have you ever wondered what it takes to successfully raise money? I have worked with hundreds of capital campaigns across dozens of industries, and I'm here to share with you proven methods for raising money in record time and at the lowest cost, while also obtaining capital at the lowest price. My name is Carl Dakin, and welcome to Motivated Money. Hi, this is Carl Dakin, the host of the Motivated Money podcast. As some of you know, I present an online interactive educational program on raising capital, the Motivated Money Bootcamp. This 10-week, 25-hour series of workshops covers the basics of raising capital, the motivated money approach to raising capital, and capital campaign management. Each attendee of the bootcamp is walked through the design and staging of a capital campaign for their organization, with consulting by me and examples of documents from multiple capital campaigns. I will show you how to raise money during this recession, as most angel investors and private equity firms sit on the sidelines. The next session of the Motivated Money Bootcamp will start on January the 18th. Listeners to this Motivated Money podcast may sign up for a 10% off the $2,500 price. For more information and to register for the bootcamp, go to motivated.money. Again, that's motivated.money, and use the discount term podcast. Hello, this is Carl Dakin. Welcome to this episode of the Motivated Money podcast. For those of you who are new to this podcast, this is all about raising money. My name is Carl Dakin, and I've been working with raising capital for small businesses, charities, and community projects for over 40 years. During this time, I have developed my own approach to raising capital, which is in many ways different from what you may commonly have heard or been taught about in raising capital. And I call this approach motivated money. Within this approach, I basically take a fundamentals of marketing approach, which is I want to talk to those people first who are most motivated to make an investment in my organization. And that means that I need to know who they are, why they're motivated, how I can structure a deal to amplify or optimize that motivation so that I can get done with my capital campaign in a hurry and I can get back to business. So on the Motivated Money podcast, it is commonly for me to have a guest, an entrepreneur, who will talk with me about some of the challenges and potential solutions that they are implementing in their capital campaigns. And we get into different ways that the motivated money approach may be of help to them. But today, I have with me a very new, special, and different kind of a guest, which is the entrepreneur coach. We'll learn more about the entrepreneur coach throughout today's episode, but let's get started. Hello, Coach.
Great. Let's get started. What would you like to know about starting a business?
So the entrepreneur coach is a very special thing for us today. So it's an artificial intelligence that I've been working on, and it is there to answer questions about entrepreneurship, and it can also serve as a tool in raising capital. So we're going to learn more about this in today's episode, and the coach is going to try to do his best job of answering my questions as we go through this. So first things first, entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship is the process of creating and launching a business. It involves the recognition of an opportunity, the development of a product or service to meet that need, and then selling it to customers. Entrepreneurship also involves finding financing, managing resources, and handling risk.
What is the story of Entrepreneur Coach?
The Entrepreneur Coach is a powerful AI assistant created by a team of entrepreneurs, engineers, and business professionals dedicated to helping small businesses succeed. After extensive research into the needs of small business owners, the team identified a gap in the market for better business advice and resources tailored to aspiring entrepreneurs. In response to this need, they created the Entrepreneur Coach. It provides personalized advice on starting and managing a small business, helping entrepreneurs get timely and accurate answers to their business questions. With the help of the Entrepreneur Coach, entrepreneurs are empowered with the knowledge and resources they need to succeed.
Can the Entrepreneur Coach be customized?
Yes, the Entrepreneur Coach can be customized to meet your specific needs. You can personalize the coach for your particular business goals and objectives, or even tailor it to provide industry-specific advice. The customization options allow you to focus on the areas that matter most to you, such as finance, marketing, sales, customer service, and more.
Coach, what is artificial intelligence?
Artificial intelligence, AI, is a broad term that refers to the ability of computer systems to learn and adapt to new information, similar to the way humans learn and adapt. AI systems can be used to process large amounts of data to identify patterns and make predictions, allowing businesses to make decisions based on learning from past experiences. AI can also be used to automate tasks, making them more efficient and freeing up time for business owners to focus on other aspects of their business.
Coach, what is an avatar?
An avatar is an artificial digital representation of a person, character, or object. Avatars are used in virtual worlds or computer games to allow people to interact with and control them. They can also be used in online forums and other social networks to represent a user and communicate with others. Avatars are typically customizable, allowing users to tailor their appearance, behavior, and voice to their own preferences.
So as you can see, the Entrepreneur Coach, artificial intelligence, and an avatar that looks, as you may guess, a lot like me, for better or for worse. But I started working on the development of the Entrepreneur Coach a number of years ago when I first met Emiliano De Laurentiis with the company Knowledge Avatars. This is a learning platform that combines a variety of proprietary techniques in teaching and learning, but it also works with avatars, and it also works with artificial intelligence. So in this manner, it's possible for me to create a body of knowledge that is interactive 24/7 with anyone who wants to ask a question. And we're in the process of training up the Entrepreneur Coach to be a ubiquitous best source of questions and answers on anything dealing with entrepreneurship. And because of my specialty and expertise in raising capital, that's where most of the work has been submitted so far, is to get it to assist with capital campaigns and serve as a tool to me and to my clients who are engaged in raising capital. There is the way it's designed is we have two bodies of knowledge within the Entrepreneur Coach. One is those questions where we have specifically trained it to give the correct answer from my viewpoint of the world on entrepreneurship and raising capital, which of course involves the motivated money approach. And then, however, it's backed up by an open source AI system with over 3 trillion concepts. So if I ask the Entrepreneur Coach a question that goes outside of the scope of what I have done to train it on entrepreneurship, it will dive into the OpenAI and it will try to answer the question. The question quite often will be well answered, accurate, and on point. But if you ask a question that is more of seeking an opinion rather than a fact, or it gets into the weeds on some obscure area of knowledge, it may not be able to give you the correct answer. And so, for fun, you can ask it questions to see how far you can push it before it can't answer questions any longer. But right now, we've got the Entrepreneur Coach up on websites, and we're looking to add more and to make it a tool that almost any entrepreneur can access and use for that purpose. And as the question was asked earlier, we're looking at the Entrepreneur Coach as something that can be customized so that it can be used in a particular capital campaign. Coach, tell me about capital campaign.
A capital campaign is a fundraising effort to raise money for specific projects. A capital campaign typically involves a more complex, long-term process than other forms of fundraising and financing, such as annual giving or debt financing. Capital campaigns are often used to finance large-scale projects, such as building construction, renovation, or new programming. Typically, the campaign focuses on raising large, unrestricted gifts from individuals, foundations, or corporations, though some campaigns may also include events and other activities to boost the total amount raised.
So anyone who's raising money from any source may be able to use the Entrepreneur Coach as a source of information. My current plans are that with my clients, as they move forward to raise capital, we will have the Entrepreneur Coach set as either an online accessible site, or we may actually embed it as a widget in the website of the business or organization that's raising money. And going beyond its ability to answer general questions on entrepreneurship and raising capital, we intend to train it to answer at least a handful of questions about a specific capital campaign. It should be able to answer questions about who is the organization, who is the management, what are the key terms of the deal or offer, and it should be able to help guide an investor candidate through the process to review the documents that are available to consider making an investment decision, and explain where they're at and where to go to obtain and review those documents. Unfortunately, as I said earlier, the Entrepreneur Coach cannot provide opinions, and we certainly don't want to put it in a position of offering investment advice. It simply will be a tool that may make it easier, as I said, for an investor candidate to gain the information they need and to walk themselves through the process of reviewing documents leading to making an investment decision and getting all the documents where they need to be. So one of the things that we're doing with the Entrepreneur Coach is everything you've seen and heard, if you're watching or listening to this episode, has to do with the use of the language of English. And quite obviously, not everyone is proficient in English in the same way that I'm only proficient in English and don't speak other languages. But we are training up the Entrepreneur Coach so that it can be used in different languages, particularly as we try to expand its use worldwide. And it's currently can be trained in 33 different languages. However, at the current time, it's monolingual, meaning that when you set up an Entrepreneur Coach, you have to set the programming for a specific language. It's not yet multilingual, but it can understand questions that may be presented to it in a different language. So I'll show you how that may work. ¿Puedes hablar español?
Hablo español es el uso del español como un idioma oficial, nativo o segunda lengua. Hablo español puede referirse a alguien que domina el español con habilidad nativa, alguien que ha aprendido el español como segunda lengua o alguien que utilizar palabras españolas en el lenguaje de la vida diaria.
So as you can tell from that, my terrible enunciation of Spanish didn't get the job done. I was trying to ask it if it could speak Spanish, and it ended up giving us a short lecture on Spanish language. Um, and please speak English.
I'm sorry, I don't understand. Could you please rephrase your question in English?
And there we are. This is an English-speaking avatar, and as you also may have noticed, that when it spoke in the Spanish language, it used an English accent. We are able to modify this to both male and female gender and for different ages. So you have different intonations take place that are more culturally matched with a particular language or for a particular source of information. But this is the way that we are continuing to build and train the avatar. What typically I use it kind of like a dictionary where I want to go to the coach and I'm going to ask it a question. And I do that simply by stating the word for whose meaning I'm looking for. Capital.
Capital typically refers to financial capital, which is money or other forms of assets that can be used to acquire goods and services, as well as investments. It also can refer to mental and physical assets such as knowledge, skills, and experience, as well as resources such as land and personnel.
Raising capital.
Raising capital for a business venture involves finding sources of money or assets to fund the project. This can be done through investments, loans, grants, crowdfunding, or other sources. It's important to research and understand the best options for your specific business situation before committing to a particular approach.
Recession.
A recession is a period of economic decline. During a recession, businesses experience decreased demand, reduced sales and profits, layoffs, and a general slowing down of the economy. It's important for businesses to understand how a recession can affect their operations and plan accordingly.
Promissory note.
A promissory note is a written promise to pay a certain amount of money at a certain date or on demand. It is a binding contract between a lender and a borrower that can be used as a form of financing. It is important to understand the details and conditions of the agreement before signing a promissory note.
Equity investment.
Equity investment is the purchase of shares in a company. When you invest in a company through equity, you become a shareholder and have ownership rights in the company. Equity investments offer potential for return on investment, but also come with risk. It's important to research companies thoroughly and understand all the possible risks before investing.
Dry powder.
Dry powder is a term used to refer to cash or liquid assets held by a business for use in emergencies, strategic investments, or acquisitions. It is important for businesses to maintain a good level of dry powder in order to be able to respond quickly to potential opportunities or threats. Having sufficient dry powder can help businesses to stay competitive and give them greater flexibility when making decisions.
So it's interesting in the terms that we've just gone through. Some of these are trained, ones in which I worked to make sure that I thought that the answer was correct. But the last one I asked, dry powder, is a slang phrase used in the capital industry. It's very commonly used by angel investors who talk about that during a recession, when times are unstable and the risk associated with a new investment are difficult to ascertain, they will put their money in the bank account and they call it dry powder. It's sitting there ready, willing, and able to be expended if and when the investor decides that now's the time to get back into the market and start making investments again. And I brought it up because this is an example of where the question went outside of the scope of training for the entrepreneur coach, and it dived into the larger open source AI in order to get its answer. So again, the coach has an extreme capability of answering questions right now, but it's only going to get smarter as we continue on a week-by-week basis to train it up and get it all to work. So with that, what I would like to do is invite all of you to give the entrepreneur coach a test ride. And you can do that by going to the website where the coach is present, and that's at http://entrepreneurcoach.pro. That's entrepreneurcoach.pro, and you can use this as much as you want. We appreciate your having the ability to take advantage of this and learn about this. And for many of you who are running small businesses and are considering or hearing about the use of metaverse and AI, we consider the coach to be part of the metaverse. But unlike a lot of the metaverse, we're not limiting you to a specific virtual world or a set of conditions. The entrepreneur coach can be put anywhere on any website, on any platform, and therefore it can be accessible anywhere. So it's kind of a decentralized use of the metaverse. And we're having a lot of fun with the coach. The coach is less than 2 years old now, and every now and then, like a good 2-year-old, the coach will do something very interesting or very odd, and we have another learning moment as we continue to understand all the capabilities and the limitations of working with an artificial intelligence. But I welcome all of you to give it a try. And then, as I said, we're hoping very soon here to have the entrepreneur coach up on a specific website or investment crowdfunding platform where we are going to train it up to answer basic questions. And from there, we're going to continue to work to make it a very valuable tool in assisting in the conduct of capital campaigns. So that's pretty much it for today. Thank you, Coach.
You're very welcome. Is there anything else I can help with?
Not today. So that's it for this episode of Motivated Money. Thank you to all the people who listened in or viewed today's episode. As I said, in the future, we'll have more entrepreneurs coming in and talk about their capital campaigns. We're also going to be reaching out to other experts on different things from customer relations management to some different types of capital offer structures, which are a little more complicated, and try to unwind those and explain those so that you may have a better idea of different choices when you go to match up with those motivated money investor candidates who are most likely to invest in your particular project. So that's it for today. Thank you very much. We'll see you in our next episode.
Thank you for listening in to Motivated Money. If you like this or any other episodes, make sure to leave a rating and review the show. We love to hear your feedback and want to make this the best possible show for you. Also, if you like this episode, make sure you share it with someone you know who is seeking to raise capital. They will appreciate learning what you now know about raising funding. I'll see you on the next episode of Motivated Money.